Hello and welcome to another episode of It's Time to Rewind. This season is 8 times 12, where I'm breaking down 8 different time loops across various mediums that have the number 12 in the title. In this section of the season, I am covering the 2021 video game 12 Minutes. And joining me for this entire section is my co-host Jason Soto. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. Don't open the door.
So yeah, and we've been tackling this 12 minutes game, time loop game, one loop at a time. And this time I decided to, speed things up just a little bit. So we are now taking it two loops at a time.
Yep.
And I mean, let's go ahead and just get right into it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna throw it to you. What did you
Okay.
do this time around on your first loop?
So don't be mad at me. Um, I took your advice and I clicked on everything like in the other rooms, right?
Mhm.
So did you know, Mr. Bubbawheat, sir, that if you go into the bedroom and you click on the bed, you go to sleep?
No, I didn't know that.
And then you sleep like an hour into the future, and then when you wake up, the cop is busting down the door, arresting the wife, and then the loop starts over. And I was like, oh, okay. I did not expect that. Because it didn't ask me. It didn't say, do you want to go to sleep? It just did it. And I'm like, well, so then I had to make my second loop more I had to do a lot of stuff in my second loop. I don't know if you want me to get into that or if you want to do your first loop.
Um, sure, I will go ahead and get into my first loop. And, I brought this up just to, right before we started recording, but I do feel like I'm playing this game differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
have since I'm doing it for the podcast rather than if I was just like, trying to figure it out 100%. I do feel like I'm kind of trying things that I wouldn't necessarily try if I was like trying to like do a speed run kind of like,
Okay. Yeah, I think I would just be like I would be definitely more patient with it, I think, and I think I would explore all the different story stuff, but it was just kind of like okay, I need to see what happened. I need to try to get to the next thing. And so I'm just like clicking everything, and that I think that's where I'm getting stuck. I did have a lot of stuff happen in my second loop when we get to it, but I think that's been my problem is like, okay, what activates the next part of the story?
yeah, and that's like I'm still kind of in the I don't want to say wasting time, but kind of
Yeah.
almost kind of wasting time section,
Yeah, no, I
part of the
get it.
playthrough. So
No, I
the
get that.
first time, yeah, so the first time I went into the closet again and
Mm.
I found the wife's phone in her purse.
Oh, okay.
And you can grab the phone from the purse, and I can tell that it's the wife's phone because it has text from hubby. Like she has,
Yeah, okay.
which I don't. It's feels kind of weird that I don't feel like the characters have names, so it's like
Yeah.
hard to talk about them. It's just like wife and hubby.
Yeah, literally what and cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can there was a number pad, and I might try this in the future. Like I considered dialing 911, but
Oh,
I did just look at the texts, and
okay.
there's like four different texts, and they're mostly just kind of like typical husband wife. Like one text mentions, "Hey, I think it was from last week," and it just says, "I think it would be a good idea to put a spare key outside of the apartment."
Okay.
And then like the most recent one is just I think it's like him saying he's on his way home to work, but it's like,
Hmm.
and I forget what the other two are, but they're nothing important.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
and then I tried, the different dialogue options. I decided to try the convincing her not to open the door, and like
Hmm.
telling her that there's a cop. And or no, it's strike that. I think I was trying to press her about the watch, or now I did these in one order or the other. I forget which one I
Hmm.
did first, but like I really pushed hard against the watch, which is also kind of weird because I I know we talked about it in one of the last episodes, but I don't remember it actually coming up in the first loop. I still feel like the pocket watch thing kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't remember it either, actually, now that you say that. Hmm.
But like I was like really pressing her and then she got mad and then like I tried to ask her to dance and she's like, "No, I don't feel like it." And I'm like, It's time for dessert." And she's like, "No, I don't think so anymore."
Okay.
So that like really gets her mad at you. But then she does agree not to open the door. Like that conversation goes back and forth a little bit. It takes a little bit to convince her. And then I decided to go into the bathroom and I locked myself into the bathroom.
Okay.
And so from that part, I heard the cop, knock on the door, and she's like quietly saying, "And maybe we just be quiet and he'll go away." But then he does break down the door and
Okay.
starts zip tying her like usual. And then
Uh-huh.
she's like, maybe if someone would help me.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm just in the bathroom and
Oh,
I
you're just in the
like
bathroom hiding.
yeah, and I lock the bathroom door too. And
Oh
then
man.
then the cop's like, "Oh, is there somebody else in here with you?" And then he's like, "I can hear you in there. You should open up." And then he does bust down the bathroom door.
Okay.
And actually, the other thing that I did, I actually did a lot in this loop was I took the knife off the counter earlier in the loop.
Oh, okay.
And so I was able to use the knife to cut open the zip tie.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't even think about that. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, and so he stands up, and then like I was trying to like attack the cop with the knife, but I think I
Hmm.
was still like too unfamiliar with the controls, and I didn't have enough time, so I don't think I did it correctly. I think it was like a user error and not that the game wouldn't let me do that. I
Mm,
think I
okay.
just wasn't like I didn't drag the knife to the cop properly in order
Oh, okay.
to try and use the knife on
Okay.
just
Okay.
out of curiosity. And then, once again, he punches me into the next loop.
Okay.
Like literally.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah.
And
Okay.
and then one thing that I did notice in his conversation is he was really pressing her about the watch. He's like, "Where is the watch? Tell me where you hid the watch." And that
Oh,
was like, very similar to how the conversation was going whenever I was pushing her was and
okay.
she just kept like, "I don't know anything about the watch."
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
So then let's go ahead and what was your next loop?
Okay, I did a lot more stuff in the second loop. So now that I knew that the bed makes you go to sleep, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that again. So, so once I start over again, this time I sat on the couch like immediately and let her sit next to me. And then I prompted her for the conversations. And one of them that I kept pressing was it asked about the father's murder. Is like how did your father die? And she's like, "Oh, that's a very lighthearted topic of conversation." And then she's like, "He died of a heart attack." And then it kept giving me the option to press her about the father's death. So I kept clicking on that option. And she's just like confused, like why are you keep asking me about this? Those are heart attack. And it's like insist that you know, about the murder. Even there's even an option that I did click that said accuse her of murdering her father or something to that effect. And she was like, no, it was a heart attack. Why are you doing this? And then I did the option of there's a cop coming. He's gonna come and arrest you. And she's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then I had an idea. Actually, I had an idea in the middle of the week. I locked the door. I went to the
Mhm.
front door and I locked it. And then if you do that, it does say door locked. And so I was like, I don't know, that's either going to completely stop him or it gives us more time. I think it gave me more time because as I did that, um, I kept pushing her and then she eventually stopped talking to me. She didn't want to talk to me no more.
Mhm.
So then I went to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom. I opened up the medicine cabinet. I think you told me this. I don't remember. But there's a bottle of pills in there.
Yeah.
And I took the bottle of pills. And then when I clicked on the pills, it said something like, I need to dissolve these. And so I was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. So I went and got a cup. I went to the back to the bathroom, filled the cup with water, and then I put the pills into the cup. And then he's like, this will knock out somebody for a long time. And then I'm like, okay, am I supposed to knock out the wife, like to get her unconscious? Because one of the other dialogue options was trying to get her to leave the apartment. Like he kept saying, we need to leave
Mhm.
the apartment. And she
Yeah.
won't go. She didn't want to go. So I thought, well, maybe if we knock her out and then we can either lock her in the bedroom or in the closet, or we just take her with us. But she wouldn't take the drink because I think she was pissed off at me for asking her about the father's death. So I may have to try that first before I do anything and just see if I can knock her out like immediately. I'm gonna try that next time. Um, but she wouldn't budge. She would not take this water. And then the cop came pounding on the door.
Mhm.
And as that was happening, he's rattling the door and he's like, "Let me in. I got a warrant. I'm a cop. I'm a warrant." And so we're talking and I'm trying to convince her to leave or no, first she says, "Oh, that's the cop. Let's be quiet and maybe he'll leave, but the cop won't go away." And so then I think I eventually went to the door to look in the peephole and I
Mhm.
saw him like banging on the door, and that's when he burst the door open. And the wife went into the bathroom and locked herself into the bathroom. And so I
Interesting.
was like, okay, maybe that's something. So I'm dealing with the cop and he's yelling at me. And then I'm clicking on him, like thinking if I like punch him or something, but nothing was
Mhm.
doing anything. And he eventually zip ties me and he throws me to the ground. And there was like this weird extra like 5 seconds where I think the game wanted me to try something. So I'm like clicking on like myself, on the zip tie, on the cop, and like nothing's happening. And now I think it's that knife thing. I think it was like giving me the space for the knife. So that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, so I gotta remember to try that too. And then he's banging on the bathroom door and it won't budge. Like for whatever reason, he can't break down the bathroom door. So she's like locked into this bathroom. And so then he comes to me, to the husband, and then I think I said this in the first loop, he chokes me to death. And
Huh.
then I wake up from the loop. And I was like, holy okay, I got a little further this time.
Mhm.
Um and I'm wondering now if the branching paths in between like games you play is if you ask about the watch or if you ask about the murder. Because I went the murder route and I didn't really get anything about the watch, whereas you did. You got stuff about the watch. So I'm wondering
Mhm.
if that's like how they different, make the paths different.
Yeah, it is interesting like to see our different paths. Like you definitely did some of the things that I did kind of in my first or second playthrough
Yeah.
or first or second loop. And it it is interesting that like in two of your four loops so far you got choked out,
hmm
where in two of my four loops I got punched out. and
Okay.
I haven't been choked.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so in my second loop, this is, where you went to sleep. the way I wasted time was I asked her to dance.
Okay.
Because I noticed that that was, one of the other dialogue options. And of
Mm,
course, it does do the whole, typical point and click adventure game. It's like, oh, how can we dance if there's no music? So it's like, oh, I have to turn the
turn the
radio
music
on.
on, yeah.
And then she does dance, and they do dance. It's a nice moment. I was kind of hoping that maybe it would bring out some additional dialogue,
Mm,
but there's not really anything that I could tell that seemed pertinent to the actual story of the game. It was just kind of a nice moment between each other. And I did also like still notice that every loop whenever she comes in from the bathroom and she gives you a kiss, that's that he's still kind of standoffish. Like he
yeah. Yeah, I noticed that too.
but but in this moment, whenever they dance, he does have a moment where he says, I don't say it enough, but I love you. And she says, I don't say it enough either, but right back at you.
Okay. Interesting.
And then after the dance, I decided, okay, I'm going to try and rush into to dessert to see if, so I went straight into dessert and then, they ate. And I did also notice locking the door, but because this time I didn't say anything about the cop. So she, like, whenever he knocked on the door, she went to the door and just let him in, like, even though I locked
Oh,
it
okay. Interesting.
because I didn't set it up, and like as she was getting up I was like trying to run interference, but I couldn't really, like, I don't think it would let me click on her before she got to the
Yeah.
door. And then I like tried to talk to the cop himself, so I put myself in between her and the cop, and I
Mm,
did talk to him and I'm like, what are the charges? And he basically like ignores you. He's like saying, I'm not here for you. He has like just a couple dialogue lines, and then he basically pushes past me to zip tie the wife. And
mm.
I also, it was weird because it that time it reset right then. Like right after he pushed past me, the time loop reset. Like there wasn't
Oh,
any,
weird.
yeah, it didn't get into any of the zip tying or any of that stuff. It just
Huh.
immediately, like, once he pushed past me, it reset.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that's because actual 12 minutes gone by? Because my second time, I felt like I was in this a lot longer than I have been up to this point, and it easily could have been 12 minutes.
I don't know. I again, like, I don't ever have my phone with
Yeah,
me
yeah,
to
yeah.
actually do this because I keep meaning to do the stopwatch, but I'm pretty sure. And I did also like go look at the time,
Hmm.
and then like once I played my two loops, I'm like, what time was it? But I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it was like 7:30 whenever I started, and it was
Okay.
like 7:44 after the two loops. So that's only like
Oh,
7 minutes per loop.
yeah. Okay. Hmm. Interesting.
It's possible, but I don't think it would have been 7:20
Okay.
because it's like I feel like it was an even number. Like if it was 7:20, that would have been like, exactly 12 minutes.
Okay.
Uh, but I'm pretty sure it was at least closer to 7:30, if not actually 7:30.
Gotcha. When I was sleeping, what ended up happening was like the whole thing went away, and the clock from the opening came up,
Mm,
and the minute hand just sped by, and it looked like an hour. Like it looked like it went around for like a whole hour, and then when
mm.
it went to like 1 o'clock, that's when I woke up. So I don't know what that was about. Like I don't know why it went an hour in the future. That was kind of strange, um
Yeah.
but like I said, when I woke up, that's when the cops showed up.
Yeah. Especially since it does seem like, again, it's hard to really get a get an exact feel without having like a stopwatch going. But
Yeah,
it does feel like, there are markers. There is like the peal of thunder that feels like it happens at the same time.
yeah.
And I feel like eh, I feel like I did hear like a slight siren, a
Uh-huh.
very like a
I heard a
quiet siren
siren.
at a distance.
Yeah, I did hear a siren, and then you hear the elevator.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I do feel like it does hit the markers at the same time each loop. But
Okay.
again, it's hard to know if there's any wiggle room or if it is exact without either timing it myself or, looking it up online, which again, I'm not
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
anything up.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I'm curious. I do think that you're on the right track with the sleeping pills, and so
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna let you, take that route, and I'm gonna figure out something else to do
Okay.
for my two loops. And
Yeah, I'm gonna try that like the next time and see what happens.
and I think the way to do that would be to like go through with the desserts thing, like prompt the dessert
Oh.
stuff so that the two of you sit down and like set the fill her mug with water ahead of time and set the table ahead of time and put the sleeping pills and then like prompt for dessert and then make sure you're sitting there for correct seat.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't falling for that again. I mean, what? What? What?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that one goes for you.
Yeah, me too. I'm just dying to see where this is all leading in general, honestly.
Yeah, I am really curious to see how this goes. And again, I think it's interesting to approach this game this way. That this has
Hmm.
been, a fun experiment so far, and I'm enjoying it.
I agree. Yeah, me too. This has been really neat. I've been actually like looking forward to like playing the next loop and just kind of continuing the story.
Yeah. I do think that I'm probably enjoying this game more than I would have had I just, played it normally and,
Mm,
treated it like a typical point and click adventure game, just going
yeah.
through and I feel like what I would normally do is, I'd play around with it for maybe an hour or so, maybe two or three different play sessions, and then I would look things up online and
Okay.
see what to do next. And
Okay.
so it's been a different experience, having somebody to bounce ideas off of who's kind of
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
same boat as me. We're
Yeah.
both coming at this blind, like completely
Exactly.
blind.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I'm digging it.
All right, well, thanks for joining me. Why don't you go ahead and plug Rabbit Hole Podcasts and anything else you'd like to?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not doing show specific because I don't know what's going to be happening when these are airing. So I'm just telling everyone to go to rabbitholepodcast.com, check out all of the wonderful podcasts that are there. Um, Basically, we just kind of do like a form of nostalgia. We kind of look back at like 90s movies, 80s movies. We look back at music, TV shows. We run the whole gambit over there. Plenty of shows to check out at rabbitholepodcast.com.
Yeah, and you can also find, most of my podcasts there. And yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on. And I've got anthological podcast, which I'm not sure about the timing, but I'm probably well, it would definitely be, well into if not finished with the Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror season, which not the TV series, but the old Amicus movies from 1972 and 73.
Yep.
And we should be heading into another short season after that, which I just put, I just put the poll out to the, a potential sign up. So still up in the air as of recording what that season will be. I do just know that it'll be kind of a shorter season before we gear up towards Halloween. So looking forward to seeing what that and what movie that ends up being.
Yep.
And so until next time.